Christianic Sea Review covering Las Vegas and the world. We are live from Las Vegas and want to thank all of you for being here tonight. And the reason that we're here tonight is an obvious one. A lot of you who watch these videos have been watching them on the um, on the internet on our channel, the shorter ones. And the reason that that's important is because you guys are obviously interested. I've even seen in some of the WrestleMania preparation group discussions people talking about the last video we did. So I wanted to do a more extensive video tonight that you're here for live, or you can be watching obviously in the recorded version, which we appreciate also. So I'm going to break down travel tips, resorts tonight, where to stay, all that kind of stuff. We're going to break down this evening and try to get you educated. And we're going to talk about some of the new events that were notified this week in case you missed them. And I'm going to give you some other input about how to navigate Las Vegas. We've been here in Las Vegas for almost 10 years. We are Las Vegas's fastest growing multimedia outlet. I've got a bunch of notes in my documents here on my computer. I'm going to go through some of these one topic at a time, and from that topic we're going to go through all the different scenarios of where you should stay. I know some of you have booked hotels, but you'll cancel your hotel rooms. You'll keep changing because you can free cancellation up to a certain date and all that kind of stuff. So I know a lot of you are continuing to look and think and plan. And the reality is that I tell people this all the time. If you're not planning when you come to Las Vegas, it does not matter if you're coming for a convention, a vacation, or a special event like WrestleMania. You will be lost if you do not plan correctly. So I'm going to suggest that all of you have a plan and have a sheet. You can spontaneously get lost in this city, the entertainment capital of the world, so easily. So let's first talk about all of the hotels. I see this question often in the WrestleMania groups. So let's talk about the hotels and the advantage to staying at all the different ones. So let's begin. A lot of you first want to talk about the Excalibur. And the reason you want to talk about the Excalibur is because it's the most economical. I went and did a search of October 17th. If you were here on a Friday and you were leaving on a Monday, I did a search on one of the economical travel websites. So that's where I got all these prices, disclaimer. And so this is what we have going on right now. So let me factor this to you. $440 a night, Excalibur Hotel and Casino, most economical. The reason you want to stay down there, obviously, is because a lot of you are going to just take the tram to Mandalay Bay. You're going to walk through Mandalay Bay out the backside, and then you're going to make that left, and you're going to go right up into Allegiant Stadium. Because, as you know, Mandalay Bay is adjacent to Allegiant Stadium, where WrestleMania is going to be both nights. On the 18th and the 19th. My suggestion is the following. Again, if you're just looking for affordability and you're looking for a location, that's going to be number one. Then, of course, Luxor's number two at $167. What are the differences between staying at Excalibur versus staying at Luxor? Well, the differences is the following. Here's what I'm going to tell you. Obviously, both of these resorts have different restaurants. Obviously, the food court at Excalibur's got, a Krispy Kreme donuts and some other random stuff. They've got a more affordable buffet than the Luxor, so that might be something that you're interested in. The Luxor has Carrot Top, Fantasy, and Blue Man groups. So if you're interested in seeing those acts and you just want to go down and you want to have convenience, that might be something. Maybe you are really interested in seeing the night show at Excalibur. That could be a possibility. Of course, Excalibur also has Magician Matt King. They've got the Australian Bee Gees. They've got Thunder from Down Under. Those are the main attractions at those two different resorts. But there really is no difference, in my opinion, from staying at the Luxor or staying at Excalibur, only if you're interested in the entertainment and the happenings and the food at those things. Otherwise, You're down there at the south end of the Las Vegas Strip. Mandalay Bay, of course, has got a big shopping plaza. Besides the Michael Jackson One show, the Shark Tank, of course. So there's always things going on. What I would suggest more than anything else is I don't think there's any difference, except for the fact of what it comes down to is that, again, both the Excalibur and the Luxor are over 30-year-old resorts. They're MGM properties. They've both been here around the same time. To me, there really is not that gigantic a big of a difference between staying at both. It all depends on what you're interested in as far as it goes. But some people say that the rooms at the hotel at the Luxor are nicer. I don't know, but that is what I've heard on the suggestion front. So Luxor's $167 a night. So let's talk about now going to the unbelievableness. A lot of fans are like, well, the tickets for WrestleMania are just way too expensive in general. So if I'm coming, I've got to be budget conscious every other way. The most budget conscious place on the Las Vegas Strip for those 4 days is Circus Circus. Circus Circus is going to be $58 a night, the 17th through the 20th. The one convenient thing about the Circus Circus is two things. One, there's pro wrestling down the road at Treasure Island, which you can walk to. It's about a 15, 20-minute walk. You can also, if you're motivated, walk to the Las Vegas Convention Center, which is probably a 20-minute walk as well. So if you're staying at the end, you want to stay at Circus Circus, it's old school Vegas. Some of those hotel rooms at Circus Circus have been renovated in recent years, though. Again, I think the property it's improved since 2017 when I arrived here. I think it's much cleaner and much more organized. So again, my point be told is I think Circus Circus has been on the up and up in a couple of years for as far as the budget conscious traveler. People stay there because it's budget conscious. So if you really just need to stay somewhere, you'll be fine. You'll get in a 15-minute Uber and you'll go to the Las Vegas Strip. You'll go to Allegiant Stadium. You'll be there in 15 to 20 minutes if you leave early enough. So again, that's only a couple miles away. That's one. The other end, if you want to stay a little bit farther, maybe like some of the attractions, comedy shows, different kinds of food. There's such great restaurants at the Strat Hotel, Casino, and Tower. A little bit down the road, that's $105 a night. Again, but it still puts you in the area where you could get a quick ride over to the convention center for WWE World, the fan convention. You can get over there, and then also you can get to the pro wrestling at Treasure Island. And then you can also get, if you go in the other direction, quick car ride to downtown Las Vegas where you can see all those events as well, which we'll talk about in a few minutes. So the Strat, $105 a night. So that's another suggestion. I'm just giving you the positives of all these things. Okay, so some of you have talked about the Rio. So for those of you who have never been to Vegas or you don't understand how far it is, the Rio is adjacent to the Las Vegas Strip on the west side. It is just right there. You can take a pathway and walk to Caesar's Palace in about 20 minutes. So again, I think that, that can be beneficial for those of you who want to hit the main strip. But the benefit of the Rio is you get on the highway, you're going to get right on the highway, and you're going to be at Allegiant Stadium in 10 minutes. That's the one positive of being at the Rio, is that it's right adjacent to the main highway where your Uber would get on the highway and drop you off for WrestleMania. So that's the benefit of staying at the Rio. The other benefit of staying at the Rio is you've got two adjacent properties on the west side of town, which are the Gold Coast Hotel and Casino. They've got some nice restaurants as well. And of course, the Palms Casino Resort, it's got a full food court, diners, steakhouse, and all the good stuff. So, and a movie theater and all that kind of fun stuff. So if you stay at the Rio, the benefit of staying there, they have great shows too, of course. They may have one of the best entertainment lineups in Vegas. Wow, Penn and Teller. The Empire Strips Back. There is a lot of great things going on at the Rio. So Rio cost evening is going to be right now $171. The Palms is $151. Either of those is great choices. It all depends on what you're interested in. But both of those resorts will get you a car that goes right to the highway. and will take you right to Allegiant Stadium. So you won't be stuck on the boulevard. That is the one benefit of staying at those resorts. Christian, next, you want to be covering Las Vegas and the world. We're giving all the WrestleMania 42 travelers tips. Please feel free to leave comments, and I'll answer questions later if you're not here for the live. So again, most budget conscious is going to be Circus and the Strat at the south and at the north end of the Las Vegas Strip. The ones that are most convenient are going to be Excalibur and Luxor, because you just take the tram to Mandalay Bay. And if you want to have a different adventure, being at the Rio and the Palms 151, Rio 171, if you stay off there, you will be able to hit the highway very quickly on the road to Allegiant Stadium on either Saturday or Sunday night. Okay, next, other options. Again, there's really no difference to me. I mean, if you want to stay at Harrah's for $185 a night, the reason you would stay at Harrah's or the Link for $197 is because you want to be near the Horseshoe. The Horseshoe is going to have lots of pro wrestling events and WrestleCon. So if you're interested in walking to those events, if you're going to be going to WrestleCon all 3 or 4 days, I'd want to stay at Harrah's or the Link or the Flamingo, even for $200. The Horseshoe is doing $214 a night. If that's something that's very important to you and you want to be at the center of the Las Vegas Strip where all the action is, the Caesars and Paris and Venetian and Wynn and right down the road in Resorts World and such, that's the place to be at, is that kind of area. So again, reviewing Harrah's, $185, the Link, $197, Flamingo, $200, and Horseshoe are $214 a night. So those are the reasons you'd want to stay in that area. Also, Treasure Island is $225. They are going to have pro wrestling as well. That's a little bit more down to the norther end. But the reality is again, if maybe you're interested in those pro wrestling events, you could still walk to, if you're motivated, 20 minutes, you could still walk to the Horseshoe from Treasure Island as well. It's not that far. You could absolutely walk there and go to the WrestleCon also. So that's also a potential possibility. Planet Hollywood is down $228. That's another reason. If you just like Planet Hollywood, maybe you've stayed there before. Of course, there's the Miracle Mile shops at Planet Hollywood. So there's that shopping, lots of different magic shows, crusades, all that kind of stuff is there. That is adjacent to there as well. Park MGM, reason you may want to stay there is you just like Park MGM because it's a smoke-free Las Vegas resort. Again, you still have to walk down to Excalibur through New York, to get to the tram that takes you to Allegiant Stadium. A little bit farther, there's going to be an extra 20-minute walk probably about. So those are the hotel breakdowns for the Strip. Now let's talk about downtown Las Vegas. This is interesting. There's going to be some pro wrestling and some other special events down there. The Nerd is hosting some parties also. The reason to be downtown is if you just like that party scene. You like that wild party scene. You want the big LED screen at the top. El Cortez, $108 a night. Golden Gate, $113 a night. Fremont Hotel and Casino, $119 a night. Four Queens, $132. Golden Nugget, $130. The D Las Vegas is in that range of the 130s. The Plaza is $142. The only reason to stay down there is maybe if you're interested in hitting up the parties from the Nerd, which is going to be, again, let's break this down for you. There's also going to be stuff at Circa. Circa's having stuff every day. We'll go over that event list in a minute. The 19th, Rob Van Dam. The 18th, the Sandman, Rob Van Dam, former Extreme Championship Wrestling stars, will be at 450 East Fremont Street, the after parties for WrestleMania. So if you're interested in that, potentially, if you are interested in that, that is maybe one of the reasons you want to be down there. Now let's go over Circa, of course. Resort and Casino is going to have a ton of events the week of WrestleMania, and I got the calendar sent to me via their press department this week. So here's what's going to go on the different days. April 15th, the Art of the Bout with Naomi Rosenblum. I'm reading from the press release. Contemporary artist Naomi Rosenblum will turn the third floor of the Circa into a canvas of mixed media oil paintings that capture the power and identity of elite athletes. Guests are invited to celebrate collection of Las Vegas debut that evening on Wednesday, April 15th, alongside wrestlers and fellow observers. The artwork will remain on display through the week with a limited edition raffle on an exclusive wrestling painting. On April 16th, Insight with Chris Van Vliet. Join four-time Emmy winner host Chris Van Vliet for a live podcast on Thursday, April 16th. Audience members can expect in-depth conversations, behind-the-scenes stories, and surprise guests from wrestling personalities, 6:30 to 9:30 p.m. April 17th, past C1 interview guests many times, Dave Meltzer and Brian Alvarez of the Wrestling Observer Live. April 17th, 10 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. They'll break down the latest matches, share insider stories from 7 decades covering professional wrestling and combat sports. Listeners will have the chance to tag in with their own questions during question and answer session. And then Friday, Instinct Culture with Denise Salcido. Grab a front row seat as host Denise Salcido brings you her hit YouTube podcast, Instinct Culture, to life from noon to 1 p.m. Former superstar Shotzi will showcase her signature in-your-face attitude as the duo chats about the in and outs of professional wrestling, offering a wide-ranging look at the sport. So those are some of the things that are going on in downtown Las Vegas during WrestleMania 42 week. Now let's talk about transportation, leaving. And this is for both nights, and this is my input. Do not take an Uber outside of the front of Allegiant Stadium. Do not do that. Get on the tram, get off at Excalibur, go over the bridge that takes you to New York, New York, go down the escalator from New York, New York, go to the front of New York, New York, wait at the Uber, and you'll pay 1/3 of the price. I live here in Vegas. I know it's different, but I paid $9 to get off the strip on the first night of WrestleMania last year. Do not pay that. You will pay $30. You'll pay $40. Oh, I'm tired. You want to save money? If you think that everything has become more expensive, and it has in certain ways, if that is of something of concern to you, I would consider 100%. I'd consider absolutely doing that. Again, go into Mandalay Bay, get on the tram, go to Excalibur, go over the bridge from Excalibur to New York, New York, go down the escalator, walk to the Uber. That will be the best choice that you can make to save, $20 or $30. They all just sit there waiting for you to take that. And if you want to be economically feasible, you want to save a little money for your wrestling merchandise, get another photo or a picture with your favorite star at one of your conventions, WWE World, whatever it might be, that'll save you some money. Now, if there's a huge line this year because I've said this to everybody and everybody follows this advice, well, that's I guess I created something. But that would be my advice. I would also say to those of you who are coming to Las Vegas, there's no reason to rent a car. Do not rent a car unless you're planning to drive, to Hoover Dam or the Grand Canyon, or you're going to the great outdoors. There's no reason to have a car here in Vegas on a trip. There's just no reason, in my opinion. Unless you're touring the great outdoors, there's no reason. To get in and out of these garages is challenging sometimes, many times. So I would not do that. I would not rent a car under any circumstance. Unless you're going off the Pale Trail, maybe you're going to some of these, again, even Ubers to some of these pro wrestling events that are going to be at the public libraries, I believe, on Saturday and Sunday. I don't understand why anybody would do that. It just doesn't make any sense whatsoever. That is just my opinion, and I'm sticking to it. Christian XC1 covering Las Vegas and the world. We're doing a video today for WrestleMania travel plans because our video a couple weeks ago, that was only 5 minutes, did very well. And we're like, well, why don't we do a very long, more extensive one? So that's what we're doing today. Okay, let's talk about the events that are going to be taking place at the Palms that were announced this week. There is a ton of events going at the Palms, by the way. That's another reason for you to stay at the Palms. $151 a night right now is what I got quoted earlier today. For the 17th to the 20th, there's a ton of pro wrestling events that are going to be at the Pearl Theater. Let me see if I can get those. If you give me 1 second, we'll pull those up here. And thank you all for your patience. So Slamfest is coming. Last year there were all these different things going on. So let me just go down. I'm going to read all of these things for you so you guys know, understand. Thursday, April 16th, Tokyo Joshi Pro Wrestling, 11 a.m., April 16th. Tokyo Joshi Pro Wrestling. Again, Friday, April 17th, 11:30 a.m. to 2 p.m. There is a free fan fest and meet and greet. Pretty amazing stuff. Wrestling, there you go. Wrestling from Japan. Concession, the CMML is going to be in town. Lucha Libre, Thursday, April 16th, 3 p.m. Wonder Wrestling Ring Stardom, Friday, April 17th, 3 p.m. House of Glory, Thursday, 8 p.m. All that good stuff is going to be going on. Okay, so then there's the Slamfest pool parties. It's going to be a bunch of different events. Schedule of events also. Here we go. Wednesday, April 6th to the 5th to the 8th right now. If you search, by the way, if you search on the internet, how do you get to this page? Search Slamfest Palms Las Vegas. It'll come right up. 40 years of Mick Foley. There'll be an interactive evening of behind-the-scenes stories from Mick Foley. Wednesday, April 15th, past CURBGS, 6 to 8 p.m. Friday, April 17th, 5:30 to 6:30 p.m. Pro Wrestler Saraya will host a special live episode of her podcast, bringing unfiltered conversation and special guests. And former WWE superstar Bubba Ray, which is now Bully Ray, of course, Friday, April 17th, 9 p.m., Throwback Ladies Night Party hosted by the WWE Hall of Famer featuring Spandex Nation. That's going to be probably at the Ghost Bar, I imagine. The Hardy Boys are going to have their own party on Saturday, April 18th, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. at the Ghost Bar. Feel free to join them. Jeff is also going to perform a concert afterwards. Jeff Hardy, past one of you guys. The Bella Twins at the Unknown Bar are going to be doing a meet and greet, 5:30 p.m. It's $40 for an autographed bottle of Bonita wine, and you get a picture with them. Those of you interested in meeting the Bella Twins, $40 seems like a pretty good deal. Ric Flair is also expected to attend, I'm going to guess, the Palms Pool Party again this year. He's listed. Saraya, of course, Dean Muhate, Ash by Elegance, Bobby Lashley will be on the property, Elena Black, Hardy Boys again, Mansoor, Mason Madden, Nick Wayne, MVP, of course, Shelton Benjamin, and Zia Brookside. There's going to be a ton of pro wrestling stuff going on at the Palms. So Palms Slamfest may actually be a worthwhile thing for all of you to attend, actually. Or if you want to stay at the Palms, that may be the best bang for buck right now. If you don't really want to go far, $151 a night. And then you can just go on the highway very quickly and get to Allegiant Stadium in 10 minutes. You'll get enough opportunity. I'm sure there'll be stars all over the resort. You'll be able to meet them and say hi at the bars, the restaurants, and the such. The Palms is going to be happening during WrestleMania week, that's for sure. All right, a lot of you have had questions about the WWE World Fan Convention as well. Another thing in that regard, and we'll go through the WrestleCon stuff in a minute too. Here's what I would say. Again, you have to buy the pass to then be able to buy the autographed photos and pictures. And up to 4 people can be in those pictures, I believe. If you want the absolute information, I believe up to 4 people can be in the pictures. Nice to see you too, Sunshine. Thank you. I believe up to 4 people can be in those pictures, but they do sell out very quickly. They do add them. But you've got to buy your ticket to WWE World. What a lot of people have said is that it's not worth going on multiple days unless you're interested in multiple superstars. What I would figure out is who do you most want to meet, get an autograph of, and I'd go that day. That's basically what I would suggest doing for those of you. And now let's talk about WWE merchandise. A lot of you want to go to the WWE store at the fan convention, but you're waiting in an hour line. A lot of you have said, and I saw this last year, is that if you go to the store at Allegiant Stadium, they have a bunch of the stuff, as most of it. They didn't have everything, but they have a lot of the stuff there too. So you can wait. If you get to WrestleMania early, go to the fan store and just buy your stuff there. There was plenty of merchandise also on each of the levels during WrestleMania. I got tons of stuff. The stuff I bought last year, I got on our level behind our ticket. It was like 2 minutes away from the seat. So you don't have to rush over to the WWE store. It's a fun experience. I get it. But that's not something you have to do. If you're not interested in going to WWE World, you can get most of the merchandise over there too. Some of the stuff may be at the WWE World that may not be at the Allegiant Stadium gift shop, but I'm gonna guess a majority of it will be. So if you're not picky, like the programs, the magnets, the caps, the basic T-shirts, they're all gonna be at the store at Allegiant Stadium. So why would you bother going over there unless you had to? Last year it was beneficial because WrestleCon was at the Westgate and that was down the road, but that's not the case this year. WrestleCon's at the Horseshoe. I got to tell you, if you're not going to WrestleCon to meet some of the greats, disappointing. I think that's the best event, honestly, of the entire weekend as far as fan conventions go, besides the WWE World, of course. I think it's phenomenal. Let's do a little bit of an update thing here and see the latest. But I got to tell you again, we'll get to some food suggestions in a minute, and then I'll give you some other input for those of you again who are interested in saving some money. I will absolutely help you with that as well in a minute. Christian XC1 interview covering Las Vegas and the world. Thank you so much for being here this evening. Expected to appear WrestleCon, Kurt Angle, of course, Friday only. So may want to catch that. So if you're going to just want to see Kurt Angle, probably just go there on Friday. D'Lo Brown, Friday through Sunday. Carlito, Thursday through Sunday. Mike Chioda, professional referee, Thursday through Sunday. Shane Douglas, Friday through Sunday. The Dudley Boys will be there on different information coming soon. Hacksaw Jim Duggan, the kindest man in pro wrestling, Thursday through Sunday. Mick Foley, Thursday through Sunday, will also be at WrestleCon. All the great stars are going to be at WrestleCon, Honky Tonk Man. Worth getting over there, I have to tell you. Ken Kennedy, Lex Luger, of course, Jerry Lawler, Jack Lee Moore, Don Morocco, all these, Kevin Nash, all these people are worth going to if you want to see these. These are all the greats, Dustin Rhodes, of course, the Rock and Roll Express, Ron Simmons. All these people are going to be at WrestleMania and at the WrestleCon. So I really think WrestleCon is the best bang for a buck. I would just say if you're on a budget, plan for the 3 stars you really want to meet. That's what I do. I'd plan for the 3 stars you really want to meet. The good thing is that going there also, you're not rushed. Like some of these other events, you're just not rushed. So, if you really want a professional wrestling story memory, I'd go to WrestleCon. You're going to say hi. You're going to say thank you to the WWE superstars you meet at the WWE World, and that's going to be it. That's literally going to be it. And you may pay a little bit more. I'm not saying it's not worth it. If there's a star, if you're a Jey Uso fan, you're a Jade Cargill fan, you're a Cody Rhodes fan, you're a Roman Reigns fan, something like that. If you're a fan of those people, I 100% understand why you would want to go to WWE World. But if you're interested in just meeting anybody and just saying hi and talking, most of the professional wrestlers, the lines are not long at these WrestleCons because a lot of these people are there for multiple days. So the best thing that you can do is that regard is go there instead. So the reality is that that's what I would suggest doing. If you're really if you want to meet the greats, say hi to them, shake their hands, you'll be able to do that at WrestleCon. It's more of a laid back atmosphere. Obviously, WWE World's going to be a madhouse. But again, you're going to pay, you're going to be in long lines most likely. And maybe that's important to you. But again, and so here's the thing. Last year, there were some free meet and greets around town. I think Rey Mysterio Jr. was at Cricket Wireless. I would be searching Cricket Wireless and some of the vodka businesses in town, liquor stores, seeing if any of the wrestlers are going to make appearances. I'm sure there's going to be a couple of promotional superstars doing free meet and greets off the strip at different locations. So definitely keep an eye on that. That is always something possible. Cricket Wireless, I'd probably put in Las Vegas appearances. I'm sure there'll be an opportunity to meet some people for sure in that regard. So keep in mind for that. That's also a possibility to keep in mind on those fronts. So that's where I've got on that front. I'm just going to say this in this regard. Really, it comes down to what are you most interested in doing? What are you most interested in doing? So I'd pick the things I'm most interested in doing and I'd go from there. Okay, so let's talk about the discussions that have been going on. 25% off the tickets. Are you going both nights or are you going one night? Again, I think that if you wait till 48, 72 hours, even 24 hours, they're going to open up a bunch of tickets and they may not be the best location, and they may not be the best view, and there may not be the clearest sighting. But if you really just don't care and you just want to go to WrestleMania, I wait till the last moment here. I would wait till the last moment. There were tickets last year, the last moment, at $110, $120. Even got down to about 99, I think, a couple hours prior to. For the fees, of course, but still a bargain to go to WrestleMania. I mean, compared to some of the other things, the Super Bowl, the national championship game, and that stuff. Yes, this is sports entertainment, not competitive sports, but it is a world event still. So I just say that to you. That's number one. And then number two, I'd say that, again, do not get a car in Vegas for any reason. There's just no reason for it on those fronts. So you got all that stuff covered. Again, I'd also look for, search on the internet, pro wrestling after parties. I'd search for that too. There were a couple of them way off the strip. Some of them were in Henderson, Las Vegas Valley, 30 minutes away last year. But there could be some cool stuff going on you may miss under the radar. So make sure you keep Googling and you keep searching for those different kinds of things as well. So, okay, so now let's get to food. Vegas, basic stuff. Let's talk regular basic stuff now, non-pro wrestling Vegas stuff. Where are you going to go in Vegas to get affordable food? This is easy. Denny's. You're going to go to Denny's. $5, $10 breakfast meals, lunches, things like that. There's a couple Denny's on the Las Vegas Strip. If you're staying at the Gold Coast, Rio, or Palms, there's a Denny's there too. You can have a $5 breakfast menu. There's the lunch menus are cheap too. If you're looking for affordable food in those, there's also east of the Strip. You can walk this from the Horseshoe. You can walk down the road during the day and the night, go to Ellis Island. They have the Village Pub Cafe. $5.99 hamburger and fries, $12 salad, steak, fries, and mashed potatoes or baked potato or green beans. That is where you're going every day. The Village Pub Cafe has meals under $20. You can walk to it. It's 10 minutes from the Strip. It's 10 minutes east of the Strip, right at the center of the Strip, behind the Horseshoe. You're going to WrestleCon, you go over, have a fun meal, you go over there. The fries are great. The food is great at Ellis Island. The prices are great. This is how you're going to save money in Vegas. There are going to be a couple of bargains probably at some of those resorts on Strip, but you've got to plan it accordingly. If you're looking to save money, if you really just want to save money, so you have more money for merchandise and more money for fan experiences, and you just want delicious food, but you're not picky, Ellis Island, the Village Pub Cafe, again, you can walk to it. You can take a quick Uber. It'll be like $7 or $8 if you really don't want to do that 10, 15-minute walk. Or go to Denny's on the Las Vegas Strip, or if you're not on the Las Vegas Strip, go there. Now, if you're downtown, I've got options for you as well. El Cortez, Binion's, El Cortez has got restaurants. Binion's Cafe has got very affordable restaurants. They got Binion's Cafe. A lot of the food there is under $20. Binion's Cafe, great place. Hamburger, open-faced turkey club sandwich, all that kind of stuff. There's more affordable food in downtown Las Vegas. So, if you're staying down there, it's much easier. But if you're on the Strip, look for the Denny's. Go to Ellis Island, just east of the Las Vegas Strip. Go get that $5.99 hamburger and fries. It is phenomenal. Get that freaking steak dinner for $12. You got to get the player's card to get it from 15 to 12. You just go to the kiosk. You load the coupons. You get the card. You go to the kiosk. You load the coupons on your tap thing. Then you go eat at the Village Pub Cafe. You give them the menu and you go from there. That is what you end up doing. That is the way to accomplish that goal. That is the way to accomplish that goal. Affordable food. That is the most affordable thing. If you're interested in affordable other things, or you want to do that, what I would suggest doing is the following. Maybe you get a Walmart groceries delivery, or you go to a Smith's or a grocery store before you go to your hotel. That might be worth doing for some of you. You may not care, but that may be worth doing. There is a Smith's probably about 2 miles west of the Las Vegas Strip on South Decatur Boulevard. If you're interested, there are affordable grocery stores nearby. South Decatur Boulevard, which is, a couple miles down the road from the Palms. Palms also is adjacent to Burger King and a diner called Blueberry Hill, which has very nice food. Across the street's a Taco Bell. So there's affordable food over there in that area as well if you're staying at that. And of course, there's also Chick-fil-A and all of these other restaurants. And there's a Walgreens too. Again, nothing is sponsored in this video. This is just accurate information. So there's that. So again, you have to decide what's important to you. I think the Palms is the best bang for pro wrestling buck, and the best way to get in and out of Allegiant Stadium quickly if you're going both days. I think that's the best bang for the buck. Now, if you want to stay on the Strip again, Excalibur, Luxor, or staying at Harrah's, the Link, or maybe even Horseshoe if you really are just a WrestleCon fanatic. So if you like the good old days, that's what I would say about those kinds of things. As far as that goes. So again, make your plan. That's what I would say to you. Again, there's just so many different events. Make the experience worthwhile. Now let's talk about shows in Las Vegas. There are millions of shows in Las Vegas. There are magic shows. There are burlesque dance shows. There are live performance shows. There is comedy. There are concerts, of course. There are tribute shows that tribute past musicians. Some of them still are alive, some are not. There's the Cirque du Soleil shows. There's Carrot Top, Blue Man Group, all kinds of stuff. If you've never been to Vegas before, try to find time to go to a show. Support the local Las Vegas entertainment community. You will be glad that you did. It'll be a memorable experience as much as going to any pro wrestling event or anything like that. So please consider going to a show while you're here in Vegas. Vegas.com is a great way to look up a lot of those shows to see the entertainment, the live entertainment. A lot of these entertainers, not all of them, but a lot of them, will meet you after the show, take a free picture, all that kind of fun stuff. So that's the stuff that you want to remember. So if you're looking to create memories going to a Las Vegas show, it's a great way to create memories. Of course, there's going to be nightlife. Some of you are going to want to do that. Some of you aren't. There are plenty of great nightclubs on and off the Las Vegas Strip. So feel free to look those up as well. I don't have any recommendations, but what I would say is that if you're into the nightlife scene, no one does it better than Las Vegas. You might want to go by and see one of those things. And you never know who else might be performing in town the week of WrestleMania 42. So to recap, we've gone over all the hotels. If you've missed that part, go back and watch it again. I give you full benefits of every one. Number one, if you're interested in the food, we've just talked about that. If you're interested in tickets, merchandise, and fan convention stuff, I've mentioned that as well. If you're really interested in going and meeting some superstars, again, I'd wait to see what day the superstar is going to be on. Buy your WWE World ticket immediately, then get that. I think the prices are going to go lower than the 25%. I really believe that. I think some fans are very happy that we're getting WrestleMania 42 again. Some of you are not happy because you wanted to go to a different city, and you know the prices in that regard and what the cost of living is. But again, if you can afford to be here, you will have a wonderful time. I hope that you all write questions in the chat and that kind of stuff as well, and we'll be glad to educate you on all that kind of stuff. So please check those out, and please make sure that you get informed about all those kinds of things. It's so important to come with a plan. I always tell people on a regular Vegas vacation, you better come with a plan. 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 And you better come with a plan, because if you don't come with a plan, you're going to be sucked up into what's near you, and that day is going to go by quickly. Also, one other thing to take note of while we're sitting here, obviously, I just want to let you know the weather in Las Vegas is warm here on February 28th. I expect that the weather is going to be probably nicer this year compared to the past years here in Vegas. So I think that the weather's going to be nice. The pool clubs will be open and ready to go. Also, if you're interested in going to the pool parties during the day, of course, the Palm's going to have pool parties with wrestlers, but there's going to be all different kinds of pool parties and ways to excite yourself as well. So please make sure you consider that also. I think that'll be a fun experience for a lot of you. The pool party scene is fun, all that kind of stuff. It's just going to be a great week, and I'm looking forward to bringing you some of the coverage and some of those festivities here on CY Interview, of course, also. It's going to be a fun time in Vegas, and we're going to have a great time. The entertainment capital world is a great place to definitely do something like this, obviously. So we're looking forward to hosting all of you, and just realize that the hospitality people here, they work their butts off. They absolutely work their butts off. There's so much turnaround in the dining industry, in the housekeeping industry, and all that kind of stuff. So please take note of that and be mindful that these people work very hard here, and they're trying to give you the best experience possible. So if you need something from them, just be thankful. It is a tip culture. Feel free to give $1, give a couple dollars where you want to. I think that's a nice thing to do and a considered thing on that front. Also, what else? We did find something cool also. Let me look that up. Another detail of another party downtown. Let me just look at one thing here, and we'll be right back. Let me take a look at that. So one other thing you may not have heard of yet, but it's been coming up in my Facebook feed a lot. Let's see if I can find this. One second. I may have to do some further digging here. Christianic C1 review covering Las Vegas and the world. Remix Rumble is going to present a party at the Neopolis complex with Ron Killings, R-Truth. That'll be April 17th, Friday at 10 p.m. Please be aware. So Ron Killings will be down there doing that. Should be a fun time had by all. That'll also be downtown, There will be a meet and greet if you're interested in meeting Ron Killings. There'll be a wrestling theme bar, all that good stuff. So feel free to come down there for that also. Too. Let's see, what else? That's April 17th, 10 p.m. Remix Rumble, Ron Killings meet and greet. Let's see what else there is. We talked about food. We talked about the hotels. We talked about the travel. We talked about the transportation. We talked about the ticket prices. We talked about the meet and greets. We've talked about WWE World. We've talked about going to see Vegas shows, the nightlife, the pool clubs. I think we're good. I think the reality is that just realize there isn't that much difference between staying Excalibur and Luxor or New York, New York. There's not much difference. What much difference is will be the rest of it. So. And if you can get a room still at Mandalay Bay, and if they're open, that's a good place to stay too, because you can just walk straight in and straight out, and you'll be right there. But I have to tell you in this regard, I think it'll be much more organized this year in Vegas for a couple of reasons. One, it was done last year, so if there was any disorganization last year, I think that'll be very well organized this year. That's number one. And I think overall that because of the experience of last year, usually what happens is Vegas does a big event once, we learn from our mistakes, and then we are better the next year. And I expect it will be. So And this will be the last chance for you to come to see WrestleMania for a couple of years, because next year's is going to be in Saudi Arabia. So, again, if you can afford to be here, the hotels are still reasonable. Again, if you don't care where you stay, Circus Circus, $58 a night, Strat, 105. Strat would be a fun experience for a lot of you. There's a bunch of amusement rides at the top. Go to the top of the tower. It's a great time. There's a lot of great restaurants there. Again, top of the world, McCall's Steakhouse. McCall's Steakhouse has got if you're interested and you like steaks, you don't want to spend a huge lot of money, but you're interested, McCall's Steakhouse is it's a great place to go. McCall's Grill, I believe it's called. I'm sorry, but let's look at that just to make sure I've got that right. I think it is a steakhouse, but it's called McCall's Heartland Grill. Excuse me, but it's great. It's phenomenal. Loved it. We'll go there again sometime soon. So, McCall's Heartland Grill at the Strat. But if you have any questions about restaurants or hotels or any other things like that, feel free to leave them in the comments section below. I will look at this, even though this is a live. I will go back and look at this and respond to all those questions if you have them. But I want to thank the WrestleMania and pro wrestling enthusiasts who have taken the time to watch our videos, comment on the videos on the various different groups. A lot of you, again, are so enthused. I watch your comments on all the different social media channels. You're all enthused about coming. And I just have to say again to you, have a plan and have a schedule. It may not be exciting. You may not want to do it. Have a plan, have a schedule. Keep looking up, make a Word document, make notes, make an Excel spreadsheet. Just be ready to go. And then, by the way, if you plan these things correctly, you'll know what budget you have also. Maybe you're not going to do the Mick Foley thing. Maybe you're just going to do the thing with the Bella Twins for $40 at Palm. Maybe you're not going to go there. Maybe you're going to just get a couple autographs. The reality of what it comes down to, though, is that this can go into the thousands very quickly. So I'd have a schedule. I don't know if you're planning to go to Raw or SmackDown. I want to figure that out as well. So, but I think the most consensus thing is that if you do not care where your seat is, and if you're not just interested in just going on 1 or 2 nights, I think you'll get better prices still. I still really believe that. I firmly believe that. I don't think the market is where it was last year because, again, either people can't afford to come, people don't want to come to Vegas again for the which they should. Every big event should come here. We love you guys. But the reality is maybe they don't want to come to Vegas again. I understand. Maybe this is a one-time thing for some people. Also, by the way, if you stay at that end with the Excalibur and Luxor, you can get a quick ride over to the Welcome to Las Vegas sign if you want to take a picture in front of the famous Las Vegas sign, the signature sign in Las Vegas. That's at the south end of the Las Vegas Strip. So that's another thing if you want to just have a regular memory. Definitely consider going over there. Also, one piece of news in Las Vegas that I found this week. Let me see if I can pull this up. 1 second. And then we're going to... The Card Vault on March 14th will have Jake the Snake Roberts, past C1 RV guest friend. He'll be at the Card Vault at the Mandalay Bay on March 14th, a month before WrestleMania. So if you're interested in meeting Jake Roberts, he'll be over there at the Card Vault, the Mandalay Bay Resort and Casino on March 14th. So just keep that in mind as well for those of you who are in town or live here and all of that good stuff also. So those are some of the things to keep in mind. Again, I will look at the comments section and all that kind of stuff. As far as everything else goes, go over to the main channel. We've had a lot of great discussions recently with the great figure skater, Tsuria Bonali. We are continuing to talk about the upcoming Floyd Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao fight in Las Vegas. That'll be at the Sphere in September. We have a great commentary video up on that. Go watch that. Go over to the main channel, watch some of our other videos. Your support is appreciated. If you keep watching these videos on WrestleMania, I'll keep making them. As always, obviously, we will have coverage, but I'll do more if you guys have questions and are engaged and run up the watch time, which we greatly appreciate very much. So I'm Christianic for CY Interview. Thank you so much for tuning into this special live. I think you've got all of your plans now for the big event upcoming. I think you've got all the tips listening to me. rewind if you're not sure what I said or if you want to review it. But I think if you watch this a couple of times, you'll be ready to go and you'll have the best experience that you'll ever have coming to Las Vegas in April for WrestleMania. I'm Janik. Thank you so much for joining us. We will be back, obviously, on the main channel, watching regular videos. Watch them with us. And thank you so much. We appreciate the support. I hope you all have safe travels. Welcome to Las Vegas, and thank you so much for making Las Vegas part of your yearly economical buck trip. We're greatly appreciative. The city appreciates you more than you know. As Las Vegas' fastest growing multimedia outlet, have a good one, and I will see you in the next one.